So in the other cone video, we learned how to draw a cone on paper and fold it up to make a three-dimensional cone. So we're going to make ourselves a fancy cone this time. This one is going to be truncated at the top. In other words, we're going to cut the tip off and cut the bottom, but we're going to draw it that way. We know this distance right here because that's the side of the cone. And we can measure the distance in the front of it. To make it easier, we're going to make a line here in the middle and figure that one out, just so it's a little bit more accurate. So what we're going to do, it's not going to be here. This isn't really the middle. This is in the middle here. It would be right about there. And if you look at it directly, you can see it's a little bit closer to that edge than here. This side is foreshortening. So right there and right here, these lines are what we are seeing from the very top. So this line and this line are this line and this line, and this new line right here is this line right here. So now we can see where things are going to be. Now this here, I'm going to take this down to the bottom and then connect it to the top. And this line here is that line there. You can see it's closer to the side. Now we can measure this distance, kind of, because this line isn't really this long. This line is not really this long. This line comes at us like this. This line should be this long. So we're going to do something a little bit weird here, but we're going to make a duplicate of this line a little bit further and carry some points to that one to get this actual distance. We'll start with this line first just so we can see what's going on. So this has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 high. So right about there. We'll count over 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We've now duplicated this line exactly, and we want another one too. So we'll call this line A and this one B. Here's A and here's B, just to keep track of things. Now, here's where it gets a little bit interesting. Right there, this distance here, we're going to measure this distance, but we need to stretch it a bit. So we're going to take this and go sideways. I want to get this line exactly parallel. This is why real draftsmen use a T-square, because we can make sure that's perfect. And right there, where this truncated line crosses this line, we're going to go sideways and go right there. And so now this distance and this distance are these distances accurately. We're going to do the same with this one. And so this is the distance of the actual paper part here. This part won't be here, this won't be here, this won't be here, this won't be here. And we know this one already. So we know this line is accurate, this line is really that one, this line is really that one. Now we need one for these two lines also, because this is different. Right, so we'll call this one C. Now we're going to plot all this stuff. Now we need to know how big around this is. So just like in the other video, we're going to measure it. We could use math, but I find this is actually quicker. It's accurate enough for what you can do with the human hand and eye. There, that is 1/4 of the circle. If I take this 4 times and connect it up, this little triangle is going to fold up to make a cone exactly this big around and this high. So I'm just going to kind of walk it like this, put my pencil down so it can steer. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I actually need 8 of these guys. Let's go make another 4 over here. So I've got 4 here, 4 here. I'm going to connect this here and connect this here. If I cut this out right now, it would make a cone that big around and that high, because this is this distance and this is the distance around. So this will make a cone. I'm going to put a tab here because it's hard to glue an edge to an edge. So this area will have glue on it and will lie under this one, and we can stick it together fairly easily. So now we're going to make these lines, or these lines here, connect. And we're going to label them ABC. All right, so this line here is going to be right here. This is B. This is going to be A. This is going to be C. We'll call this one, I guess, 1. We'll call this one 2. And these 2 lines are going to be this on the other side of the cone. So now I'm going to get this distance. So this is the distance from the center. This is the actual paper part. This should stick right on the edge. And it's going to be on line A. Here's line A. Line that with the bottom. The top might be a little bit funky, so I'm going to use the bottom as a datum. That's where it goes, right there. Now, notice if I try to line it up on this A, they don't quite line up because perspective isn't working here. So here for B, make a mark, make a mark, make a mark. This is the actual paper part. That's the edge. B is line coming right at us. We will line this up. And this is going to connect like that. And this is one paper piece. This is the piece here between A and B. Let's go get line number 1. And that's going to connect like this. It's starting to look kind of strange. It's almost straight right here. It's going to get really strange over on this side. So here's line C. Remember, this is not an accurate distance. We've carried these over and stretched them to be accurate. So C will go right here. And then let's get number 2. Now number 2, this thing touches the bottom, so it's going to be right there. It's right about there. So that whole thing is going to be the paper. Okay, that can't be right. Oh, I see what I did. I counted this line instead of this line. Let's redo number C. So C is here and here, and here, and there's the top. This is the paper part. Let's do C. I did C incorrectly. This mark should not be here, it should be here. And we end up with a curve that's going to come along like that. And this curve is going to come up like this. Now, we need to duplicate this again. The other A is going to be here. This is B. This is also B. And this is going to be C. So all we have to do is just take these same distances over here. So if this is C, we're going to do the same distance over here. And it's doing a weird bump here, but it will make sense. This is going to swoop up like this. We're going to go remeasure A here. And we're going to plot A over here. And look what it's doing. It's getting kind of weird. We're going to do B. Here's B. We're going to plot B right here. And because that edge joins up with this one, this is also B. And we end up with a line going like that and going like this. And this really, really looks strange. This does not look like it's going to make this design right here. It should look like this from the side. This we've plotted out is going to make that shape. I've left this edge here. I haven't cut it off yet, just to prove that this will make a cone. See that? It just has this cut through it. And then we're going to cut this out. So now we're going to glue this together. And we have a truncated cone. This is just what we planned. Hope you enjoyed this one. I will do some more paper craft later. See you then.